and it never ends. I liken it to standing on the shore of the ocean, and the waves just keep washing over you, and maybe they subside for a minute or two, but then they start up again. That's what it's like to work in the prosecutor's office. The workload never ends. It's not like you can clear off your desk and go, okay, I'm done for the day, I'm going to go home, because your desk is never clear. So that's number one. The second part is the attention that we get from the media. The media calls me all day, every day. I hear from ABC 12, I hear from TV5, I hear from the Flint Journal, I hear from outlying newspapers, I hear from radio, I hear from NPR. They just are interested in what goes on in this community, and they're also interested because they know we always have stories for them.
And hopefully it would be good media press that the prosecutor's office would get.
Well, for the most part, we have. For the most part, the media has been fair, and that's all you can ask.
What are some of the most difficult duties you've had since being the prosecutor of Genesee County?
Well, recently I had a very difficult incident involving one of my own assistant prosecutors who did something that I felt he should not have done. It's been documented in the newspaper and on TV. I don't really want to go into the details again. I had to let him go. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I didn't feel good about it, but I felt that for the good of the office and for the integrity of the office and the public confidence that's needed in our office, I had to take that action. That was very, very difficult. It's also always difficult to talk to the families of victims of violent crime and try to explain to them why we may need to negotiate a plea in a case when one of their loved ones has been taken violently and unnecessarily. To have to talk to them and explain to them why we may not have all the evidence we need. That's a very difficult thing to have to do. I also have to deal with an ever deepening budget crisis in Genesee County, and the County Board of Commissioners, who really set my budget, are always looking to cut, and I'm always looking to avoid cuts. So that's a difficult issue for me too. So it's not an easy job, and while you mentioned earlier that nobody opposed me for re-election, I have a couple of theories on that. One is that people think I'm doing a really good job.
That's probably the best theory,
in my
opinion.
But there's the other theory is that nobody else wants the job because it's so difficult. So maybe it's one or both or a combination of the two. But it's not easy being prosecuting attorney of Genesee County, but it's very fulfilling and rewarding. And I do go home each and every night for the last 4 years thinking I've done something to better the community, and that takes me back to why I want the job again for 4 more years.
And you have it. And I would like to say that I think that you're doing a fantastic job. You're very personable with the people here in the city of Flint. You do allow access into your office, and not just for them to come in and socialize and bring their lunch, but access in terms of getting information, being able to talk to you when it's absolutely necessary. And I'm sure the residents here would thank you for that.
You're kind to say that. One thing about it, though, is that when you are in a public office like I am, or any public office, you have to really like people. And I do. I love people. I love being around people. I love being around all the people throughout the community. And the fact that I'm around them gives me life and gives me energy. So it's wonderful.
And what are some of the things that you're most proud of in your first term as prosecutor?
Well, we've put a real crimp in violent crime. That's probably what I'm most proud of. We have broken up a big gang in Flint called the Pearson Hood, and in fact there are hearings going on right now about that case. We took over 30 individuals off the streets who we believe were dealing drugs, committing homicides, and really engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise. So that has been a real feather in not just my cap, but all of law enforcement. We've also taken a number of other violent criminals off the streets of Flint and sent them away for many years of incarceration where they need to be to make the community a safer place. Selapak and Baczynski were two individuals who committed heinous crimes. They're gone. There's a number of other individuals who are gone who committed crimes where they killed elderly people in our city. So I think that has been first and foremost amongst my accomplishments. I've raised the morale of my office. I've raised the public's feeling that they can trust and have confidence in my office. That was waning at some point in time along the way, but we've restored that. The public feels good about the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office, and so I think that's an important accomplishment as well.
So even with all of this hard work that you do, it must agree with you because you look so young to be so busy and so bombarded with all of the work that you have to
you're too
deal
kind. I will recall that when I took the job, my hair was jet black.
Yes, it was.
And now it's not so jet black.
Yes, it was.
So it has taken, it's a tough job, and it takes a toll on you if you do it right and you work hard at it every day. But on the other hand, as I mentioned, it gives me energy. It gives me life. And I love the job.
And that was going to be my final question, and you are such a visionary. Do you enjoy your job? It sounds like you do, even with all of the things that you have to deal with.
Well, I do enjoy it. Unlike a judge, I don't have to sit in a chair all day and listen to lawyers with their cases and individuals testify. I do sit in my chair a lot and review a lot of cases, but I have the opportunity to get around the community a lot. And you meet people, and I have always said that the people of mid-Michigan are the finest people in America and probably in the world. They're warm, they're gracious. Sometimes they speak a little bit of a chopped English language, which is okay.
That's right.
Sometimes they're, not dressed to the hilt. Maybe they're in a t-shirt and blue jeans, but they're good people. They're well-meaning people. They would take that shirt off their back for you if you needed it. And I love being part of this community. So that's why I love my job, and I think we're doing some good, and God willing, we're going to keep doing it.
Well, there you have it, folks. You've just heard from your newly elected prosecutor, David Leyton. He ran unopposed in the primary, which sounds like something that this city and community could be very proud of. I would like to let you know that I think personally he's doing a fine job. He's very supportive of organizations around the city of Flint. He is really supportive of our organization, Families of Murdered Children Support Group. And on behalf of our director and founder, Ms. Pierce, we want to thank the prosecutor and all of his staff for allowing us the open access to help these families. These families are grieving, and a lot of times they just don't have the words and the dialogue. So we're not there to criticize anyone. We're just there for our clients for moral support. So you have just heard from your, once again, prosecutor of Genesee County, the other half to the county's dynamic duo and tag team for justice, Prosecutor David Leyton. It has been an honor for you to allow me the privilege to interview you, and I hope to have your continued support with some of my endeavors, and I wish you success in your second term.
Thank you so much.
And I just have to tell the audience members this. I hear a lot of women, when they found out that I was working on the prosecutor's first campaign, they wanted to say how pretty his dimples was. So if you want to take a look at his dimples while he's talking, feel free to do so.
Got me a few votes, those dimples.
Absolutely. And I wanted to thank the Paul and Angela Herring Foundation for allowing me the opportunity to come in and do this summer series of interviews. When people come together for the good of the community, they are on common ground. Remember to tune in every Wednesday on Channel 17 at 6:30 for Common Ground. Thank you so much, and good night, everyone.
Anybody out there? This isn't right. Why don't you just tell me what I did, please? Can somebody just tell me? God, I should talk to somebody. Let me go.